Good afternoon, everybody. We're going to continue on with our media availability today, and we are joined on stage right now by Kyle Busch, a two-time NASCAR Cup Series champion, longtime NASCAR Camping World Truck Series owner, soon-to-be Craftsman Truck Series owner for Kyle Busch Motorsports. And Kyle, you have a big announcement to make today.
Yeah, I get to announce this one. So welcome to the announcement of the announcement that actually gets to be announced. Opportunity here to just present to you guys, the media and everybody in NASCAR, that Kyle Busch Motorsports will continue next year in 2023 as a Chevy branded team, and we're here to announce our driver lineup for our first full-time driver. It'll be Chase Purdy. Chase Purdy will be driving the number 4 truck for next year in Kyle Busch Motorsports, and then we also will do for our second truck lineup, that will be our development program, also the All-Star program, if you will, where we will have the opportunity to work with Jack Wood. He'll be our anchor driver, as we're kind of terming it, for the opportunity of those races in which you have to have a guy, non-Xfinity, non-Cup guy. Jack's our guy, and we're also looking forward to pairing him with none other than myself in select events, as well as some other Cup Series drivers and Xfinity Series drivers. So really excited to have both of these young men as new KBM alum, and excited about the opportunities that these guys will have next year going forward, being in the fold at Kyle Busch Motorsports. So that's it. All right, cool. They're done.
Okay. Well, I want to hear from Chase. Talk about the opportunity to drive that number 4 truck next year for KBM.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, having the opportunity to drive for someone like Kyle, who obviously has done a lot in this sport and is a champion at the highest level, among other levels, is a huge opportunity. With that comes pressure, but I think the famous term is pressure is a privilege. So I'm really excited about it. I think he's going to be a great resource for me to have, and we got a lot of good tools over there at KBM, so I'm really excited about it.
And Jack, what the opportunity for you to drive the 51, that's going to be really cool.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I could be more excited, right? Growing up, my late model in California was number 18 because of Kyle, right? So this is more than a dream come true, I think, for me. And there's a lot of pressure that I think is going to be involved, but it's pressure that I'm going to put on myself because I want to win, right? And I think KBM builds winners, right? So just excited to be here and opportunity of a lifetime.
Fantastic. Well, we're going to open the floor up for questions. If you have a question, raise your hand. We'll get a wireless mic to you. We'll start with the postman, and then we'll go to Jeff Gluck.
Question for Kyle, Steve Post, Motor Racing Network. Kyle, KBM is a business, but KBM is a passion of yours as well. What has the past 6 months been like, and what is the relief factor like that you're able to make an announcement now? Because just knowing your passion for it, I can't imagine it had to be gut-wrenching at times.
Yeah, no, it certainly was. Trust me. If you can dream of an idea or a concept, we certainly have had that on the whiteboard. No question. There was times where it looked like none. It was as many as 4, so there was definitely different opportunities that were out there that presented themselves, but felt like this was the best play, the smartest play, and one that would keep us to where we feel comfortable and where we've been the most successful as the size of our organization and the growth of what we've been able to achieve over the years. And so that's kind of where we netted. But it wasn't easy. Yeah, you're right.
Go next to Jeff, and then we'll go to Claire.
I mean, along those lines, like what's been the stressful toll for you? Like, I mean, because you still had your thing to finalize, you got that taken care of, and you still had this to deal with. So, what was that process like? How recently was this put to bed so that you could get it off your mind and have it out of the way? Can you take us through that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously just having all the discussions and trying to be as upfront and as fair as possible to everybody on this front as well. I think I said that before on my Cup front, but talking with Purdy and talking with Wood and his team and all those in between, obviously there was a lot that was going on behind the scenes, but I think it went as nicely and as professionally as possible. There were, let's see, how do I say that? there were a couple, sleepless nights where it just kind of was like, oh man, are we sure of just the decisions that were being made? But also then just being able to have the stability of Kyle Busch Motorsports again, and to be able to rely on these two drivers to work with for the future and to take us to that next level. And we've been about developing talent, right? People, I'm sure, are looking like these are two young guys and pretty wet behind the ears, don't have wins in the truck series. But you know what? I can't count how many that have come to us had wins before they got to us. So I think that was a good point by Jack is we've built winners before, and there's no reason why we can't do it again. I don't know. I can't answer that one. I don't know. No, there is an answer, and the answer is the 55 people at Kyle Busch Motorsports. There's a dream and a passion that others share with me at Kyle Busch Motorsports as well, and one of those is going to be our inherited new fearless leader with Danny Stockman. You know what I mean? He asked me that exact same question probably 4 or 5 months ago. He was like, why are you putting yourself through this? Why are you still doing this? Like, if you just told us all what we needed to do, we would go do it. Go find other work. And so I was like, nope, that's not who I am. That's not what we've been, and that's not who we're going to be.
Good, Claire.
Claire B. Lang, Sirius XM NASCAR Radio. A major accomplishment, even getting to this point. Where do you see this growing to, right? And how much do you see yourself racing for the team? And then, like, down the road, are you looking at expansion? Are you thinking that this will build up as your other team did?
So, my races with Kyle Busch Motorsports, obviously I'm allowed 5. I'd love to do the 5. We've got to be able to put that together first before I kind of announce where that is and what that is. But from there, we want to fill in those other voids of available races on the 51 truck with other Cup guys, other Xfinity guys, anybody that's in the Chevy family of drivers. They're more than welcome. And actually, there's been probably 4 or 5 of them that have reached out to me already and have called me about, hey, I want to run this race. Hey, I want to run this race. So we're going to have a bidding war at a few of those because there's a lot of them that want certain races together. And we only have so many open trucks. But it's been good. It's been fun. So, again, I'd like to run my 5, and we'll see where we go from there. So as far as expansion, no, not really. I mean, like I said, I kind of mentioned it before, where we feel like we're comfortable in the amount of people and the amount of the level in which we've been able to achieve success at, KBM has been this sort of 3-truck model. And, I feel like that's our place. We've tried the Xfinity thing before. Could we? Maybe. But, I'd like to push on NASCAR's buttons a little bit harder on making sense of being able to do that as we go down the road.
We'll go to Jason, then the Lee.
Kyle, with what you guys have coming up here, give folks an idea a little bit about how hard this transition is going to be in the off season. February will be here before you know it, changing everything from Toyota over to Chevrolet, and also too, what about your ARCA plans? I know you obviously had the win today. You won the owner's title as well. Is that something you plan to continue on?
Yeah, I stayed in my motorhome for that one. Sorry. Just kidding. I just got here. The fact on ARCA stuff, I think that was kind of a one and done. So unfortunately, just seeing not another one to kind of fill that void, and seeing Sammy moving on and progressing to the next level. So they've kind of got their own plans. But what was the other part of the question? Yeah. So shop-wise, it's really not terrible. We're certainly working through a lot of the differences in the way we do business, the way we've done business with Toyota, and obviously how Chevy does things. We've kind of worked on some of that stuff a little bit behind the scenes, but definitely try to keep Stockman and all the race guys, competition guys, focused on going and racing for a championship this weekend and letting them kind of rely on that. And then the business team, me and Mike, that's it, and G, we kind of met with the other guys on what we could look for going forward, and obviously some game planning and what we need to do there. There's a lot of work going on in the shop. They were on hold. They had trucks ready to be swapped over and everything probably 2 months ago or so, I guess, once the RCR announcement happened. And I put a hold on everything, like just wait, just hold on, don't get too far ahead of yourself yet. And as soon as we were able to solidify our programs here with with Jack and Chase. Green light was given, and I can not confirm nor deny that there's already trucks ready to go.
We'll go next to Lee, then to Bob, and then we'll finish with Greg.
Kyle, Jimmy Johnson was in here earlier, and he said you guys have exchanged text about potentially what's going on in Indy next year, and I just wonder if you're any closer to that, and did he touch base with you at all about what it's like to be a driver/owner?
Yeah, we've done a little bit of texting back and forth, a little bit of Indy stuff, but may or may not have some all-star driver KBM announcements later on down the road, so that could be fun too, right? Cat's out of the bag. Wait till you say it and then it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Indy, nothing on Indy. No, it kind of went dark. It all dried up, so nothing going on there. Yeah.
Go next to Bob.
Bob Hawkers, Fox Sports. First, do you need sponsorship still for these 8 cars, or are you good and to be announced?
For our truck stuff?
For your trucks, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we're always looking for sponsors, of course. But we've had some discussions already with these guys on their partners and whatnot. So we weren't ready with all of that as far as signage and that sort of stuff. So that'll be coming at a later date, along with crew chief lineups and stuff.
And you had so much support from what you're currently running. But do you think when you're in the truck, do you feel like you'll be as competitive next year as you were this year?
Yeah, that was obviously one of the key decisions as to whether or not we continue and go forward, was having the opportunity of being able to stay at the same level of being able to be competitive and go out there and win races and have the right resources to be able to do that. And so it has all come to fruition where we will. I believe in what we do at Kyle Busch Motorsports with the people that are there. We've signed on new drivers, we've signed on new crew chiefs. So, again, all that stuff is still to be further detailed, but it's looking really good. So I wouldn't have done it if I didn't think we couldn't win. That's definitely not in our DNA.
Wrap here with Greg.
Kyle wants to get back to his motorhome. Two questions, Greg Engel Forbes. When you have sponsors, you talk about sponsorships and selling sponsors. Does it really make a difference, who the manufacturer is to a sponsor? And if you had a current sponsor and they signed on when you're, the other people, and you come and you're going now to Chevrolet, does that really make a difference to a sponsor?
I don't think so. No, not at all. I think it's all about the relationships. Obviously, there are certain sponsors that we've had that have had really, really good relationships with with Toyota. And so, but if we're able to still facilitate those same B2B relationships with the new manufacturer, there's no reason why I don't see any reason why they would turn that down.
And congratulations on getting this done, but was there ever a time when you think it might not get done? How close to the edge did you get?
Yeah, no, there was. There was a lot of sleepless nights on this front as well, too, and I had to, I met with everybody at KBM. We had a couple of group sessions, team meetings, of talking to everybody and just letting them know kind of where we were at and what we were doing, and just stick with me, believe in me. I'm doing this. I'm telling you everything, step of the way, and kind of keeping them up to date on what was happening, and never had to have that doom and gloom meeting where it was like, hey, I don't know, if you guys want to look, you can look. Like, it was always, I got it, we got it, we're getting closer, so don't worry, and here we are. Yeah, thank you.
Good deal. And before you guys leave, I'd like to have you all stand up so we can get a photo here for the history books.
Cool, thank you.
Yep. Hey, Kyle, I got something more for you if you wouldn't mind sticking around. I think we have some more things to talk about here, if you wouldn't mind. Yeah, you bet. And Kyle, as Kyle sits back down, I'd like to welcome some other folks to the stage. So if Max and Jennifer Siegel, if you wouldn't mind coming to the stage, please. Nick Sanchez, if you wouldn't mind coming to the stage, please. And Bill Shelton, if you wouldn't mind coming to the stage, please. Max and Jennifer Siegel, as you well know, are the REV Racing owners and partners of NASCAR's Drive for Diversity program. Nick Sanchez is the 2022 ARCA Menard Series champion. Bill Shelton is from Group 1001 and is the CMO of Gamebridge. And we have a historic announcement to make today. REV Racing will be expanding into the National Series in 2023, fielding a full-time team in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series with its technical alliance partner of Kyle Busch Motorsports. Nick Sanchez, a recent 2022 ARCA Menard Series champion, will pilot the number 2 Gamebridge Chevrolet for REV Racing and owners Max and Jennifer Siegel. Max, I mean, you look at the accomplishments your organization has made: 125 diverse and female drivers, 100 diverse female pit crew members, and then 2 championships with Kyle Larson and Nick. I mean, what's it mean for you to be part of this historic day and having this technical alliance here with Kyle?
Well, first of all, it's been awesome. NASCAR has been an incredible partner for us with the Driver Diversity Program. We've been devoted the last few years to competitive excellence, training and development, and cultural impact. And Kyle won a owner's championship, and we got the driver's championship, and we couldn't think of a greater person to align with in terms of the competitive excellence and what he stands for. And we couldn't be more pleased to have Chevrolet and Gamebridge support us in the growth of REV Racing. So this is just amazing. And Nick, who's been with us 5 years now, is just so deserving of the opportunity, and we're just happy to be able to provide that for him.
And what's this mean, the stage of the growth overall of the organization? What's that mean?
It's incredible. We've had employees in the shop that have worked with us from day one. This will be our 15th year in business, and we've been grinding it out, developing drivers, being committed to, the future pipeline of the sport. So to be able to grow the organization and to provide opportunities for our drivers to go beyond the ARCA Menard Series is just incredible. It's amazing.
Now, Kyle, you're no stranger to working with REV Racing drivers. I mean, you look 6 Truck Series wins with KBM, with Bubba Wallace with 5, Daniel Suarez with 1. Talk about this alliance and the plans to support Nick in the next stage of his development.
Yeah, certainly we are excited about that chance and that opportunity to work a little bit more closely alongside these guys at REV Racing. So for me, having that chance of being able to see some of the REV alumni come through KBM alumni, and now make it into the Cup Series, to be able to further add to that with Nick, I'm really excited about. So, seeing the progress and the development of Bubba Wallace when he first came to KBM and the first year that we had racing with him into his second year, being able to really take the horns and go run for a championship. I mean, that was really awesome. And same thing with Daniel, where he was at Joe Gibbs Racing, but also then running with us at Kyle Busch Motorsports on the truck side, filling out that development team and really showcasing his steps and what he's been able to do through the ladder, winning an Xfinity Series championship. And so we feel like we've had our fair share in that development. And so looking forward to furthering that along with the technical alliance with Max and his group here, and Nick being the driver. So it's going to be exciting.
Nick, I mean, it's been fun to watch the development and growth of your career. 4 wins, 31 top 10s, and now you're in this technical alliance with REV Racing and KBM. What's this mean for the growth of your career?
Yeah, this is huge, and it's something, when I first came to REV Racing in 2017, I didn't know it was possible. Obviously, up until this point, they've kind of capped out on ARCA, and you've seen a lot of great drivers come to REV, but then they had to leave to go to another team to go to further their career in the National Series. So to get this opportunity with Max, Gamebridge, Chevrolet, and Kyle is huge. And it'll be REV's first time in the National Series, and I'm just thankful they chose me.
Yeah, and you get to continue that relationship, Gamebridge and Chevrolet. That has to be important to you as well.
Yeah, I think it's very rare nowadays when you get a sponsor and a partner like Gamebridge and Chevrolet, just to further your career. As you all know, that's the backbone to any race team, any organization, and you can't get there without them. So to be able to continue that multi-year with Gamebridge, Chevrolet, and Max is huge.
Now, Bill, you're on the stage with an impressive group of individuals, and why is this REV Racing partnership important for you and Gamebridge?
Sure. So first of all, we've been at Gamebridge. We've been following Max and Jennifer for a while, and been amazed by what they've been doing in diversity and inclusion. So at our company, that's been a big focus, is on gender equity and racial equity and pay and other things. So we are already heavily involved in racing. We're the presenting sponsor of the Indy 500. We're co-sponsor of the F1. In Miami Grand Prix, and this just was a natural extension of that, and a way for us to kind of give aspiring drivers a chance and expand on our portfolio of racing.
Yeah, so it's an impressive portfolio indeed. Well, we're going to open up the floor for questions. If you have a question, please raise your hand. We'll start with Zach, and then we'll go to Jerry.
Zach Sterniolo with NASCAR.com. Kyle, two for you. First of all, what benefits can you see from this partnership between your team and REV Racing?
Well, kind of a little disappointed, if I'm honest. You guys only figured there was 2 trucks, not 3. We've been 3 forever, so here's the 3rd. Surprise. So this just further alongs our opportunity of being 3 trucks and gives us a chance to make sure that, you know, we're out there fielding, you know, the same amount of teams and the same amount of people that we have been for a long time. And again, looking forward to keeping that strength of the people that we have at KBM and winning races.
You guys also brought together the current and former drivers from KBM, and that picture was posted on social media earlier this morning. How did that come together, getting guys like Eric and Byron out there for that, and how meaningful was it to have everyone together? Was it emotional at all?
I wouldn't say it was emotional, no, but I would say that it was a KBM team idea. So grateful of the brain knowledge and the power that we have with our folks, and so they came out with that idea. And you know, there are a few drivers that were not in that photo, and just to clarify that, it was a KBM champions sort of year. This year with you know, Chandler's not there yet, John Hunter's not there yet, Corey's not there yet, but those are our current guys. But we brought back our championship alum, all those that were in partnership of being able to win the championships, the 7 owners titles that we have at Kyle Busch Motorsports. So that's who was kind of all grouped in there, and it was really a kind of just a, not really a send-off, but just a thank you. You know, obviously we wouldn't be who we are or what we are without the support of Toyota. But, you know, there's a new page, a new book maybe that starts in 2023, and, you know, excited for what that's gonna look like.
Go next to Jerry, Bob, then Chris.
Jerry Jordan, kicking the tires.net. One for you, Colin, one for Max. Kyle, for you teed up my question perfectly, because you know your legacy of building drivers and developing, you know, champions and that go on, it speaks for itself. As a Chevrolet team now, you get to continue to do that, and then now with the partnership, how does that when you look back at your career, is that gonna you know, reflect on you later on?
I don't know. I think it kind of already says a lot about Samantha and my dedication to our sport, to NASCAR, and our team, and what the organization has done over the years with the talent that we've developed and brought through, and you know, the relationships that we fostered. I mean, you know, we had Rudy come back for a photo, and William, and you know, a few of the other employees that have kind of retired. They retired at KBM. Some of them did. They were back for that photo as well too. So it was just nice to have that, but nice to continue into the future with being able to do that more, you know, and have that chance of Nick being one of the next ones, Chase and Jack as well too. And so, you know, it's just again a new book, and excited about how it's going to look.
And for Max, for you, to make this step, and to know that you're not just building, you know, first-tier drivers, now you're second-tier drivers, and they will go on. And some of yours already have, as we've spoken about. What does this say for your investment in the sport that we've seen for so long, and how, you know, you get the support of someone like Gamebridge?
Yeah, so I had the privilege of running Dale Earnhardt Incorporated when I met Kyle, and he was committed to excellence and, you know, wanted to win everything, every time, all the time, and I was impressed then. And 14 years ago, Jennifer and I had a dream. We looked at it and said, listen, if we got young drivers and crew members that wanted an opportunity, needed access, and we needed to put our money where our mouth was and show the passion that we had to develop it. And so for us, it's been great. I mean, it's great to be able to follow the career and develop the career of young drivers, to take them up to the National Touring Series, and to have a sponsor like Gamebridge and Chevrolet see the value in what we do. And both developing young drivers and diversifying the sport has been just so rewarding for us. So we're really excited. This is a way for us to be competitive immediately as we continue to build our infrastructure, and to have the 2 partners in KBM and Chevrolet from a technical standpoint. It bodes well, and it gives Nick a chance to get out there and win immediately. So we're excited about that.
Go to Bob, Chris, Jonathan, then Lee.
I have 2. The first, either for Max or Kyle. Like, how are the trucks going to be built at KBM? I mean, I guess is it going to be like, are you guys going to be pretty much embedded in KBM, or they just going to build the trucks and send them to you, and then you'll work on them? Can you give us a little bit of insight?
We knew Bob would ask that question. No. The fact of the matter is, I know exactly. The fact of the matter is, we have a tremendous staff at REV Racing. We're all colleagues. We're collaborating. What we're both committed to is the development of drivers. So, we have the Chevrolet Technical Center. We have KBM's place, and so it'll be pretty seamless in terms of how we get to the track. We're still working through all of that, but we want the least amount of disruption as we possibly can and the highest level of collaboration with our organizations.
And for Nick, you've done some Xfinity races. There was some talk maybe you might go Xfinity racing. Why is this decision the right place for you?
Because I talked him into it.
Besides that, I think in today's day and age, you can't look like 1 year out. You have to look, 2, 3, 4. And this opportunity with Gainbridge and Chevrolet, you can't turn it down. To have a partner like them and to have a plan. They came to me with a plan. They had a vision of where they want to end up in 3 or 4 years. So I want to be a part of that, and I want to buy into it. And I think long term, this is the right move, and I think it offers me the best opportunity to win next year.
Go to Chris, Jonathan, Lee, then Claire.
Chris Knight, CatchFence.com. Max, you've built your ARCA operation into a very competitive and now championship-worthy team. Do you see what are your plans for your ARCA program in 2023? Do you plan to have a 2-car team, and can you funnel that program in the future to house your next potential champions to move into KBM and keep that line of rotation moving forward as you've done with Nick? And then I have a follow-up for Nick.
Yeah, so we have been committed to being the best at what we do at whatever level. And we wanted to start, at the grassroots and weekly race. Well, in fact, we start with the youth. And so for us, this is a natural evolution. We're going to continue to field cars at the level that we have. We're going to continue to be competitive. We have a great group of young drivers that are coming in for our combine, for the Drive for Diversity program. Most importantly, I think that we've proven over the years that we are a first-class development organization. And so we want to continue that. We want to find the next pipeline of young drivers, and we want to be able to place them throughout the national series so they can achieve their dreams and, continue to make NASCAR the amazing sport that it is.
And for Nick, you've worked with Tyler Green over the last several years, and he's been instrumental in helping you get wins in the ARCA Menard Series. I was curious if he's going to make that move with you to Rev and Kyle Busch Motorsports next year.
I'm not sure about that. I know they're still working on spotters and everything, so I'm kind of not in the dark about it. But I know there's a lot going on this offseason, so I don't think we've made that decision yet.
Jonathan
Field, the Racing Experts, ESPN Radio Albuquerque. For Kyle, you brought up a lot of talent that's in the Cup Series now. What are some things that you see in Nick as you look toward 2023 and working with him?
Obviously, it's it comes down to winning, right? It comes down to results and kind of where you're at. But just seeing the growth of Nick and the relationship that he's been able to have with Rev the last couple of years, and going out there and racing against our team this season and winning and beating us a few times, but also being able to just put himself above the rest at the end and being able to win the championship. So that says a lot. I mean, obviously, it should on any front. If you're not winning races and winning championships at one level, you should be getting recognition, and you should be getting recognized from the series above. And so we saw that, and so it's just a natural progression, I think, as we've kind of said, of the next level and the next step, and this is that.
And did that kind of move the deal along more, or who kind of came to each other first?
I think it was just through Chevrolet. I think that was kind of the first conduit that was able to kind of put Max and I together. We've known each other for a long time. He even said it where back in the DEI days. So, I guess just having we never really had a working relationship, let's say, where it was like, hey, Daniel Suarez or Bubba Wallace, like you got to go to Kyle's. Just kind of always, it just worked out that way. And now I feel like it's more of a real relationship where we have that chance of being able to work closely together, arm in arm, and have that opportunity to be able to foster some more talent through the pipeline.
Go next to Lee.
I'm going to go to Jennifer since she's just sitting up there
That's
looking
it.
beautiful. when you look at what you've been able to do, our current Cup champion came through REV Racing. The current ARCA champion is coming through REV Racing. Where do you see this going? And you know, what do you want the legacy to be one day? Do you want, you know, this garage to look more like America and you know, be reflective of that?
Yes, I do. First, let me just say, I'm the rambler of the group. And so oftentimes I don't get the microphone because I tend to like kind of go far off the course of things. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk today. How's everybody doing? But of course, I mean, I think that when you see somebody that's in a position that you want to be in one day, it gives you hope and it encourages you. And so I think that when I think about when we first started and where we are today and seeing so many women and seeing so many people of color that are part of the industry on so many different levels, it's just really, it's really cool. It's amazing. And the thing that we do is we sort of we make champions, and that's really neat. And so to be able to come up underneath somebody that has like a dream and help them get to that next level is really very, very satisfying. And it's taken us a long time to kind of get to this point, and we're just excited to be here. And I think that what makes it also like really sweet, and that is, obviously we were not born into racing. So we had to learn everything step by step, make mistakes, hiring people that maybe we shouldn't have hired. In our experiences with just different drivers and different athletes, and Nick is so amazing. And I mean, from like day one meeting Nick, it's just been, you just knew that he was like that guy. So so we're going to continue to do what we're doing and grow our program, and we're thankful for the sponsorships that we have. That it's nice when somebody or when people see what you're doing and they like what you're doing and they're willing to invest in what you're doing, and to be able to make our program stronger, to make it better, and to attract really amazing drivers that have that passion and that desire to get to the next level. That's what we're doing. And thank you for letting me talk.
You're welcome to ramble on up here any day of the week. We're going to go next to Claire.
Claire B. Lang, Sirius XM NASCAR Radio. Kyle, you probably haven't gotten enough credit for bringing young race car drivers up, and it's something you've worked very hard at through Kyle Busch Motorsports. In your two news conferences today, you look at the drivers, and I don't know about you, but they look really, really young, right? And I remember when you were young, and now I think about Brexton. It'll be a very short time before he's sitting up on a podium addressing.
Hold on, Claire. Hold
You
on.
know what I'm saying? Right? But these drivers look very young. What pride do you have, both in the REV Racing Alliance and in the earlier news conference, in bringing young drivers along? And will your programs, both of them, will they serve to help bring, as you had planned, Brexton along?
Yeah, so there are some young guys here for sure. I was one of those guys once too, and I remember the chances that I got, and I'm very thankful for those chances and those opportunities. So you can't forget where you come from. So it obviously has been a long 12 years, I guess I'd say. KBM has been in existence for that long, where we've fostered a lot of good talent through there. And with now racing against some of that on Sunday, every now and again I kick myself and ask why. Why do I tell them or teach them at their younger years, to do this or learn this or just remember about this or think about this before you do that. And so now I'm going against my own teachings sometimes on Sundays, and so that gets a little frustrating at times, but it's all for the greater good. I do know eventually my time will expire, and so hope that's not anytime soon, by the way, but would love to just be able to continue to work with those guys, and sometimes you kind of race around those guys and you can see the ones that came through KBM, because you may get that one little extra inch versus somebody that didn't come through and you don't get that. In fact, they take. And so, that's kind of been, I guess, a little bit of the plus side of it too, is just the racecraft that you get to see from these guys.
What about the possibility that it would serve for Brexton, which you wanted to have happen?
Yeah, I mean, that's Look, this is right now. This is probably the next 1 or 2 years that we've got structured. But as far as, what is he, 7? So 8, I have no idea what's going to happen year 3 through 8. So we've got to get to that point. So Max and I, we've got a lot of work to do and a lot of penciling to do to figure out what that next scheme sort of looks like down in the future.
Close it out here up front with Tom.
Tom Bowles, Front Stretch and CBS. This one is for Max and Jennifer. You know, you talked about a 3 or 4 year plan. Do you want to make it up to the Cup level someday? Or is your passion still to just stop at some point and be somewhere where drivers develop? Because if you make it up to the Cup level, you go from a place where drivers are developing to where those drivers that already graduated want to be, you know, a whole different mindset. So I wondered, you know, is this going to be it for you trucks, or do you want to keep going up to Xfinity and Cup?
So I first want to call out Brandon Thompson and Jason Hamilton. Without them and their staff at NASCAR, we wouldn't be here today. So they've had an unwavering commitment to us, you know, my team at REV, to the development of the organization. And I think that, you know, what we wanted to do is we wanted to, you know, be excellent. I think in speaking to Gamebridge, and I'll let Bill talk about this, yes, we do have aspirations of growing the organization. And you guys know it takes tremendous support and resources. And I think the family that we're building right now with KBM and Chevrolet kind of gives us a pathway for growth. We'll take it one day at a time. Our first goal is to get Nick in the truck and winning. And from there, if Gamebridge and others see the value in our organization, then we do have aspirations of growing the organization. And Bill, I don't know if you may want to speak to that as well.
Sure. I'm here representing our CEO, Dan Tauris. And Dan is really a genius in seeing before all the stuff that you see all on Netflix and the growth of racing, really seeing this as tomorrow's sport. And so we've made tremendous investment across our portfolio of racing. And we see that a Cup is a natural extension if that opportunity presents itself and if it makes sense for us at the time. But we think that in the United States and globally, you're going to see more and more fans, and we want to be a part of that.
Okay. Well, everybody, thank you for taking the time to join us. A good historic day here in the Phoenix Raceway Media